Okay, so hello everyone who is watching this back. I'll let other people join in live. But yeah, so as you can read the title, I am going to tease slash kind of tentatively announce my 2,000 subscriber giveaway, even though I know it's going to take a while for me to actually hit that number since I'm only at like 1,500, I think. So, but I'm going to go ahead and say what it's going to be just so people are aware ahead of time what it's going to be. And then I'm also in this video going to continue to work on um, Ruby. I need to restart the Ashley that I'm working on. I have to restart her because I tried a new coloring on her and I hate how it turned out. So I'm going to restart Ashley, but um, Ruby is definitely coming along. I'm following the tutorial, so she's getting her shading right now. She's going to be hopefully making her darker tone. As you can see, she has her shading starting, and then I'm going to do all of her mottling layers so it'll look more blended than it does right now. But right now she does have the beginning of her shading. I think about 5 layers of shading, and then I think the palette calls for 10. So we still got a lot more shading to go to really get her darker toned. But it's going well. It is going fairly well. So I'll let people join in. I hope it's alerting people because the other day when I went live, it wasn't telling people that I was going live. Um, so yeah, I don't know if people are joining in or don't know that I'm live because it's YouTube hasn't been telling people, which is super annoying. YouTube just really doesn't like its creators. I'll let people figure out that I'm going live. Looks like I got one person watching. Oh, there we go. People are starting to join in. I think it's now starting to announce to people, and I'm live. So I'll give it a second. Hello, people joining in. I'm working on Miss Ruby here. I do have Emerson in here for when people show up. I do have Emerson in the sunroom as well, so we can see her today because people were asking me to show her last live, and she was all the way upstairs, and I didn't want to run upstairs and get her. I'm trying to think of the best way to position this camera. There we go. That works. Can you guys hear me? I know you can see me, but can you hear me? Because I don't want to just be rambling and you guys can't hear me anyway. Oh gosh, okay. What? Oh, that was a bad idea. You see what I'm saying? Like, this was a bad idea. They put like the sticker on here, but because how the thinner works, it's making all the ink come off of the sticker, and it's getting everywhere. So I'm gonna take the sticker off. But yeah, so I'm thinking my tentative schedule. Oh, good, Paige, you can hear me. So I'm thinking my like tentative schedule will be on Mondays. At some point on Mondays, I will do a live, and then Wednesday I'll do like a filmed video, like a pre-filmed video, and then I think Fridays I will do the Zoom meetings, and I think that'll be a good schedule to stick by. I'm saying tentative, meaning I'm not sure if that's the actual schedule I'll end up doing, but I think that's my plan for right now, unless things change. But I doubt it will because Maryland just issued a stay-at-home order, which is not much different than what they were already doing, where they don't want people to go out unless necessary. So nothing really changed. I think now the only difference is they can enforce it by law. But I think they were doing that before, so I don't really know what actually changed. But the governor of Maryland just came on live and did an update and called it something different. So I don't know if it really anything really changed. I don't think it did. It's still they only want essential personnel people out. So I'm gonna get some of this. This is just Genesis thinning medium. Um, so sorry if you hear things in the background. We've got some people in the neighbors' yard are cutting down their branches that were hanging over their tree. So sorry if you the branches that were hanging over their house. Sorry. So sorry if you hear some like background noise, but they're doing some yard work next door. Um, just happened to be right now. But yeah, they're doing some yard work next door. So if you hear a lot of weird sounds, that would be them. Um, People are just not knowing what to do with themselves, basically. Yeah, a lot of people are doing yard work in this neighborhood because there's nothing else really to do. Luckily, again, I'm so happy that I have something to do. Like, of course, I have my schoolwork, but that really isn't much, and most of my stuff isn't due till Sunday, so I don't have to do it all at once. But I still end up doing it like the weekend before it's even due. Like, so like I did some of my schoolwork for this week yesterday, um, just to get it out of the way. But like most of my stuff isn't due till like Sunday, this Sunday for this week. So I don't really have nothing to do right now, but I'm glad that I have this like painting because it gives me something to occupy my time. Um, and it's nice and therapeutic. So when I get stressed out about everything that I can't control that's going on right now, it's really, really helpful to just come in here and paint and look out the window and relax, you know? So I hope everyone else is finding a new passion or a new hobby or something, or, just working on an existing hobby that they already have, um, and taking this time where they can't do much else and doing that is a chance for to do yard work for some people. Absolutely. This whole neighborhood, like I said, people have been doing yard work all over this neighborhood, and it's good. Yeah, it's good. But what we're doing mostly in the house is doing housework, like organizing stuff. My nana has a lot of old papers, so we're shredding those finally. Getting through that kind of stuff. So most of what we're doing is indoor, and then I want to move outdoor, and I want to set up a garden for my nana. So that's gonna be hard to do right now because I think all the um, I think Lowe's and stuff and Home Depot are closed, or I don't know. I'd have to look, but I think they might be closed now. So I don't know if I'll be able to get the stuff that I would like to get to start a garden at her out in the backyard. So we'll see. We will see. I hope they are open or just available for pickup because I can order online the stuff I need, and then just we can drive there and pick it up. So I don't know, but a lot of places are doing like order online, pick up in store, so they can just bring it out to you. But yeah, so the tutorial I actually printed it out for my computer, so I don't have to have my computer over here. The tutorial is the Brooke Nicole one, and while she is an amazing painter, I don't think this is really the best tutorial for people because and if you're like me, I like to look at videos. Like I'm a video person. I like if I want to learn how to do something, videos help a lot more. But so this has kind of been hard for me to follow because she doesn't show her blending then. Like she doesn't show herself blending the paint. So she just shows the paint kind of before blending and already blended. So there's like I don't know how she's moving the sponge. So I'm trying my best to like blend the shading levels, but it's kind of hard to not see it and know. Ashley did do a video of her blending the paint, which helped a lot. That's the only reason why I've been kind of able to do it. But I'm using this color palette. This is the Violet Whisper. So that's why it's going to take a lot more layers. Like I could stop her right now, and she's still obviously AA, and then I could do like some mottling layers, and she would still look fine. But I'm trying to get her to like this dark skin tone, so she's gonna need 5 more of these shading levels. So that being said, I'm just gonna start shading her for this level. So this is layer 6. So after this, I'll only have 4 more shading levels, and then I'm gonna do the highlights. Wait, let me make sure I'm doing the right steps. So shading, yeah, and then yes, and then the highlight. I think. Let's see. Yeah, I have it over here. let's see. Hi Sue, how are you? I'm doing great actually. I'm really enjoying having this time to paint. Okay, so then she wants us to go from shading to creases? I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it goes from shading and then creases and then painting like the soles of the feet and the lips and then like the all these other like fine details are last. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna just start shading this for this layer. So I don't know if you guys saw the other one of the other videos that I made where I talked about how I got this beauty blender and for specifically so I could try to follow along this tutorial. She doesn't say in the tutorial to use this. She says you can use just a cosmetic wedge, but I found other people were using these beauty blenders to really try to blend these layers, and it's helping so much. So I'm really glad I got it, and it was 90. I think it was only like $1 or something at Walmart, just a regular beauty blender. So I just mixed up the paint for this, and it's just a dark chocolate. Good, love your videos. I love watching and learning. Yeah, I'm still learning obviously, which is why I'm following this tutorial because I really every time I would try I've had this tutorial access to this tutorial for a while, and every time I would try to follow it, I would get impatient because I would need to make a cell and I would not go all the way through with it, and therefore the dolls would never be as dark or as detailed as I wanted. And now since I have nothing but time, um, I'm being patient and really following the tutorial, and so far I think she's going to turn out really well. So I might have to keep following the tutorial or make some kind of like, I'll make a few adjustments on my end to make it more towards my style. But so far, I'm really liking how she's coming along. So right now, I'm just applying the paint, as you can see, to where I've already shaded to build up that shading color. I'm staggering this layer slightly, and then I'll blend it. But so thinning medium, first of all, is really expensive, and I should have got the 4 ounce, but I got the 1 ounce because I don't know, I underestimated how much I would probably need to do more than one doll. Like this will be fine for I think 2 dolls, the one that I got the 1 ounce, but I'm gonna need to get more soon, um, as I keep working. If I keep doing all of this shading, which I probably, like I said, will continue to do this much shading. So I need to just do it, buy the big one, um, because it's a lot of thinning medium is what I'm saying. My point is it's a lot more thinning medium than I thought it would be. So first, this is how I like to do it. I go ahead and paint like the perimeter, and then I blend, and then I go to the back of the head, and then I'll paint all the face uh, shading areas after this. So I paint the head first. But yeah, I work better. Like that's why I'm trying to do this also in video so people can see how I'm doing it, because it helps for me personally to be able to in person, like not in person, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like it helps to see it in progress and not just see a completed or the before, like before and after. So I'm just like lightly bouncing the beauty blender to blend the paint into where I've already done 4 layers. I lost track. Yeah. So I'm just blending it into the already existing shading and really trying to blend that edge so it's not as blunt. That's why I do this first, the like edge, because it's kind of time consuming. But yeah, I'm liking how this is going. She's gonna be very different from I think most of the dolls I've painted so far. I did some of this kind of shading on the Harlow that I sold, the one that I was originally going to keep for myself. I did a lot of this kind of shading on her, but it was lighter, so she still was kind of lighter toned. Like I think I followed a different palette for her, So what I mean by palette is there's different like Brooke Nicole has a lot of these little sheets where she tells you what color she uses to get what kind of skin tone. And then I also, in these smaller areas, I use the very edge of a cosmetic wedge to kind of blend it up. But this is just how I do it. I don't know, other people blend probably differently and better. Because, like I said, this is really my first time doing all this type of like shadows, and I'm really trying to do my best. But it is not easy, you guys. It's not easy at all doing all of these um, layers. And then I bake in between each layer. I don't know if Brooke Nicole does. I can't remember what I read on the tutorial if she does or not. But I've been baking each um, shading layer, so that's also what's been taking a lot of time. Baking each layer gets time consuming. Let me see. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. I decided I wanted to just go live at this time while I started doing this. I've been helping my Nana shred some papers. That's what I was doing right before this. But she has a lot of papers, so it's going to take a while to shred all of that. So I was like, I need a break from shredding. Oh, it's so pretty outside. Oh my gosh. I just I got distracted because butterflies were flying by. It's so scenic. We went on a walk yesterday and with my aunt and my cousin. Um, we went on a walk around kind of in the same area that I went to on the video, but we of course went further than that because that was just a quick walk. But it's so pretty, and then the little pond. Well, it was a big pond actually. The pond had turtles in it, and so the turtles, you could see the turtles just kept poking their head out of the water, and they were so cute. But they were like pretty big turtles too. There were some baby ones too, so that was really nice. But it was a really nice day yesterday. The weather's been pretty good here actually. A couple of days it rained last week, but since then it's been really nice. And today is also really nice. Yeah. So I don't know how the weather's been where you guys are because I've heard a lot of places it's still really cold. And in other places they're under tornado watches and stuff. So everything's kind of going crazy with the weather, the virus. Everything's going crazy right now. Mother Nature is not liking 2020. But yeah, so she is definitely coming along, and like I said in the other video, she will be available when she's completed. Um, However, I'm pretty sure I'll still be able to when someone buys her. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to still send her out because I don't think they're going to restrict packages. I don't know if they could within the U.S. So if you are out of country, out of the U.S., then I would say I probably wouldn't be able to send her to you if you bought her, if you were interested in buying her. I Yeah, I don't think they're sending packages outside of the U.S. right now. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but that's what I heard anyway. So I'm not really sure how I would get her to you. It would probably take a while if they are sending packages because they're being very cautious, obviously. So now I'm just blending this paint at the back of her head. Make sure it's all kind of smooth. Because that's the thing with thinning medium. You got to really make sure it's smooth. Otherwise, it leaves like a weird raised spots on there. And then you have to bake it longer than you. So I bake her for these layers longer than I would normally if she just had thinner paint on to really try to get the paint to melt into the vinyl. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so I don't know really if there's other people who are showing this process. I think I watched like one video and of who was it? I can't remember. I think it was Kate Charles who was blending, shading the head on video, and that also was very helpful. I did watch that video. So I don't know if Brooke Nicole now has a video tutorial. Uh, I'll have to look into that because I really do like how her dolls look. Obviously, I like the tutorial, but I would want to see her doing it. Not just words and pictures. Um, it's not super helpful with this type of thing. Okay, so we are pretty much finished blending this back of the head. Oh, yes, so I wanted to talk about briefly what I'm thinking of doing for my 2,000 subscriber giveaway. You guys tell me what you think about it. Um, so my plan, as it stands right now, when I reach 2,000, is to obviously, like I said, do another giveaway. But this time, it'll still be a completed doll, but it'll be a cuddle baby, is what I'm thinking that I'm going to do. Let me guys know what your thoughts about me doing a cuddle baby would be. I think it'll be really enjoyable, and then it'll be even more accessible to people, who don't like the full vinyl limbs for some reason. I think I would love to do a cuddle baby. I'm planning to doing one for Carol. I think Carol is ordering a cuddle baby for me. But yeah, I would love to do a giveaway baby that's a cuddle baby. I think it'll just be something different, um, you know, than what I've already done for giveaways previously. So let me know your thoughts about that. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. And if people don't want a cuddle baby, obviously they can they don't have to enter it. Like that's what I see when people like I had people last time say that they didn't like the doll that I chose to paint for the giveaway, and I was like, well, no one's forcing you. This is an optional thing. No one's forcing you to join a giveaway. Like, oh my god, I can't tell you how many people were like, I don't like this kit that you chose. Well, then don't enter. But yeah, there were some negative people on there. Um, are you still going to root her hair? For her, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to, take the extra time to root her hair or not. I think what I'm going to do is offer her as both. Like I'm going to first list her bald, and then if someone and give the option for me to then add hair. Um, Similar to how I did with the Realborn Jenny, but she'll be assembled. But I think I'm just going to give the option if someone wants me to add hair to her or not, because that'll take more time, obviously, and I do not have enough hair left over to root her completely. So I would have to also see if I could even order hair um, right now. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with individual companies as far as reborn supplies go. I know Honey Bunnies is still delivering things because I got a package from them, and I got some more paint from them. I got some containers from them, and then I got that thinning medium from them. So I know some places are still delivering, but oh, and Bountiful Baby is still delivering. I don't know about. I think McPherson is. I don't know really each individual company what they're doing as far as this whole virus situation goes. So now I'm doing the face shading, which is a much more delicate process than what I just did on the head. So I'm doing the corner of the eyes and then moving that out to the upper lid area. Around the top of the nose, like here. I'll do a little bit of that there. But yeah, so I'm excited. It's gonna be a while before I hit 2,000 probably, just because of the rate at which I am acquiring subscribers isn't fast. It's slow, but that's how YouTube kind of works unless you make outrageous kind of videos, or you just get lucky with the what's the word? algorithm. If you get lucky with the algorithm, all of a sudden a lot of people know about your channel, and then you get a bunch of subscribers at once. I don't see that happening because reborns are such a niche community anyway, and I don't make like crazy outrageous videos like clickbait videos. I don't make a lot of those. Like, oh, I dropped my baby in a Walmart, that kind of thing. I don't make videos like that. Just because, I don't know. I think those are fun, but I don't think I could possibly. Like, I don't think I'm bold enough to do that yet, at least. And now I'm shading around her nose and mouth area. So yeah, like I was saying, basically what I'm saying, it might be a while before that even happens, but I just wanted to give you guys a little teaser of what I'm planning or what I'm thinking of doing, and what I might go ahead and make the doll just ahead of time. That way I don't have to rush and do that as well. And then I do a little bit of shading from the corner of the mouth down to the chin area. Just a little bit to create dimension. But yeah, I just wanted to do a chill little live. You come and we kind of hang out, you guys. How have you guys been doing? What have you guys been doing that is interesting that you're trying to keep yourself occupied? Tell me what you guys have been doing as far as staying inside, and maybe learn something new, or I don't know. Tell me what you guys have been up to. It's not all about me. It's not the me show. I want to know what everyone else is doing. I think I'm happy with this layer. Okay. So I'll set her head aside and then we'll move on to her arms. I do her arms, I do her head, arms, and then legs last. Because I bake her, she's big, so I bake her head and her arms together, but I can't fit her all in at once. Like I can't fit her head, arms, and legs in one bake. So set her head aside, I'll let it dry. I don't usually let it dry completely. I just let it dry enough that I can lay her parts down and the shading layer that I put on won't come off. So I don't let it dry completely because then it gets weird and chalky and then I don't know. I don't like waiting for thinning medium to dry completely. It doesn't usually need to anyway. So let me set her aside. Her head is so big that it kind of, I have to prop it up. Otherwise it falls over. Be careful with her. And then after I finish shading this layer, I'll take you over because Emerson's over there, and I can bring her over. She the back of Emerson's head looks a little bit of a mess because she was laying down. So, but the front looks cute. Mackenzie said, "I've been playing with cats, reading, and cuddling with my dolls." See, that sounds like a nice, relaxing time. We don't have any pets or anything here at my nana's, so. Oh, there's a spider right there. Is that inside? It is. It's inside, but it's inside the window. How did it get inside the window? It's a big spider, too. Okay, well, I'll keep my eye on that. Make sure it doesn't get out of the. Like, it's in between the closed window and the screen that goes outside, but I don't know how I got there. But it's definitely there, and it's looking at me. As long as it doesn't jump on me or the doll, we're good. So I'm gonna keep my eye on it. There's a big spider. Oh, what is it doing? Okay, I'm distracted. Anyway, so for shading on the arms, uh, I do around the perimeter of the wrist, as you can see. And this is all from her tutorial of where to shade, and around the top of the shoulder and then on the knuckles and the tip of the ends of the fingers. If you can see any of that, so it's really starting to come together. I've been really. It's hard, especially to blend on the arms. I don't know why. The legs are so much easier. Okay, the spider is going that way, so I think we're fine. But yeah, so it's much harder to blend for me on the arms. I don't know why. I hate spiders. I don't mind spiders as long as they're not on me because for the most part, spiders are beneficial creatures. Like they eat the kind of pest insects. Um, so for the most part, I don't mind them as long as they're not like on me or super close to me. I let them live. I let them live their life. And but that spider was getting kind of close, and I don't know where it went now. So yeah, I'm just gonna make sure it doesn't jump on me. But right now, it's like it looks like it was stuck in between the window screen and the inside window that we pull open. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. But so I don't think it can even get into here. I don't know really, honestly. We're just gonna keep an eye out for it. Hello, hello, Luz Mary. Thanks for joining in. I'm just painting and watching out for a spider now, apparently. So yeah, I'm just gonna put the paint all around her first, the top of her arm, and then we'll go back and blend that out. Where did it go? That's the thing with those things. They're so fast. They just disappear. Okay. So if you keep seeing me look up, it's because I don't want it to be inside of the house, inside of the sunroom. Okay. Usually, also spiders are more afraid of us than we are of them. So usually, if they notice there's a person, they'll go back into their little home or something. And I think that's what it did. Probably to stay away from me. Paint all around the shoulder, top of the shoulder, and then they're all around the wrist, perimeter of the wrist. It's so pretty outside. Oh my gosh. I'm looking outside now because the wind blew some of the petals off of the trees we have out here that have white flowers. And it's just so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's like a movie, one of those like romance movies where they're walking through um, a park or something and the wind blows and all the petals go around them. That's how it looks outside right now. It's very like romantic. I'm just rambling. Tell me something good, guys. I'm just rambling now. If you guys can't tell, because I don't want to be boring and just sit here and paint. But some people find that relaxing. I don't know. Okay, so now I've got these big areas with paint on them. So now I'm gonna blend them with my beauty blender. I felt so weird buying a beauty blender. I thought people were going to be like, "Why is this dude buying a beauty blender?" Not that guys don't do makeup. It's just kind of not in that town anyway. Um, Hi Jessica. Thanks for joining in. Just joining in. I'm just working on Miss Ruby, who I love, by the way. I love this Ruby sculpt. Um, I think that Cassie Brace has definitely, with her newer dolls, has definitely become one of my favorites because her dolls used to be very disproportionate. Like they would always have like tiny hands and tiny feet, and she's gotten a lot better. So now because her faces were always one of my favorite faces of sculptors. And now that she's kind of like readjusted how her hands and feet are sculpted, I'm loving her sculpt so much more. Like Ruby is so cute. I think Ruby and we'll have to see in a second, but I think Ruby and Emerson have the same legs. Um, so I'll pull her leg I'll get Emerson in a second after I blend the paint and uh, do some shading on her other arm as well. Then I'll pull out her legs, Ruby's legs, and compare them to Emerson, which is Emerson is the Alexis kit. Because I think, like I said, I think they're the same legs. The hands obviously are very different because Ruby has two open hands, and I think yeah. So and then Alexis again, the Alexis kit has both of her hands are mostly closed. One is a fist, one is leg. You'll see. I'll just bring her over in a second so I can explain what I mean. But they're the same, like they're gonna be the same size, which is why I think they have the exact same legs. Which I've seen sculptors do a lot. Like they'll reuse legs or reuse limbs for and just change the head around. Where it is. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure, and we'll confirm in a second my thoughts. I don't know what is your guys' favorite sculptors. I need to get a preemie baby for my collection. Well, I'm working on Realborn Ashley, but I have to restart her because I hate the way she's going. She just did not. I don't know why I decided to do that. Like it's so bad. I'm not even gonna show her on camera. But I did. I know what I messed up on too, which makes me so mad. Um, so now I'm gonna have to restart Ashley, which fine. I have time, but I was hoping to get her done at the same time as Ruby, but that's not going to happen now because Ruby's moving along. So now I'm going to put some paint, some of this shading on the hands and I mean the fingers, little knuckles, and the tip of the fingers. So I let it sit, and then I'll come back after I've done the whole hand, like apply the paint to the whole hand, and then I'll blend it in after it sits for a second. I think Ashley is the one who showed me that to do it that way. Yeah, it was Ashley Thacker. She's the one who showed me that how she does her shading. She'll come back and then blend. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been working really well. But yeah, Realborn Ashley will eventually be done, just not when I wanted her to be done. But that's I'm still learning. Like I always tell people, I'm still a beginner artist. So if I was trying something completely different on her, and it just didn't work out. So now I have learned from that, and I know exactly, like I said, I know exactly what went wrong with how her paint applied. So now I can fix that, and when I restart her, I'm thinking she'll get back to my vision for her, which is that kind of new, very few hours old look, is what I was going for her. So once I restart her, I'm pretty sure I can get to that look that I was trying to do in the first place. Where did that spider go? Anyway, yeah. So you learn, you live and you learn. What I should have done to save myself time is I should have gotten a practice limb, like a blank practice limb. That's what I should have done, but I wasn't thinking. I thought I could figure it out, but I definitely don't know why I chose to apply the paint I did. Because what I ended up doing, which is the issue, is I thought that if I applied the pink layers as a mottling layer, that would work, and it didn't. It just made her look really, really bad and splotchy and like she has a bad sunburn. So I think what I have to do is apply them as washes, not as mottling layers like the pink layers. So I think I'm gonna go back to applying those as like washes. So now I'm going to go back and blend what I just applied to the fingers as far as their shading. I love this beauty blender. It's like it's exactly what it's for is to blend. It's for blending makeup, which is kind of just like face paint. If you think about it, you're just painting your face. So that's why it works so well because it's meant for like foundation. I think. Uh, Tell me if I am wrong. I think it's for foundation, right? Beauty blenders, foundation. I don't know. I don't know makeup. I really don't. I watched like a couple of Jeffree Star videos and then I was like, okay. There. So that hand is all blended. So the feet are actually, the legs are harder to blend when it comes to the feet because you have to really you get on those toes and the side of the foot. So we'll do this arm next. Sorry. Okay, I like the bean kit and the 22-inch Kyle and the Sadie kit. So I've painted both, as you probably know. I painted the bean for the giveaway, and I've also painted. Sadie was the first reborn kit I painted, ever. Well, with Genesis heat set paints. Kyle, I like Kyle's face, but I hate Kyle's limbs because Kyle's limbs are the same limbs as like the Chrissy kit, and I think another kit share the same limb, if I'm thinking correctly. Yeah, and the fingers are just so unrealistically skinny. It's just not a great sculpt as far as limbs go. I hate. I'm very. I love limbs are very important to me, and so I just hate those limbs. So I probably wouldn't paint the kit with the limbs. Like I would buy the head maybe separately, and then paint it with a better set of limbs. But that's just because I'm picky when it comes to limbs. Oh my gosh, I'm getting dust settling. Oh, I think Mr. Spider is gone. So I think we're good, guys. I think we're in the clear. Yeah. Okay. Now we're good. I had some dusties that had settled overnight because I let them. Once it gets dark in here, I stop painting, so they sit overnight. Then I bake them in the morning. But yeah, I use natural light in here. We do have like one or two lamps, but it's just not bright enough for me at nighttime because it just gets super dark out here in the sunroom. So I don't wear makeup, so I'm not sure I'd be a good painter. Well, I don't wear makeup, and I'm doing it. I don't. I don't think it because I've seen people who are pretty bad at their makeup. No, no lie. I've seen some people who are artists that are just not good at their makeup, right? And but they're really, really good artists. So I don't think it's the same. It's not the same thing exactly. Um, for one, if you're doing makeup, you're doing it on yourself, so it's going to be harder anyway um, than painting a doll. You color well. He's just pricey due to his size. Yeah, yeah. My prices increase depending on the size of the kit as well because it's just so much more paint and materials required. So like a preemie is much cheaper to make and thus cheaper for me to sell. Cheaper for the people to buy than a 3 month Joseph, um, who gets quite expensive. She's gonna be around the $400 range when completed. And then if I add hair, because I have to add the price of the hair, she'll be 450 with hair. Just because of all the work that I'm putting into her, I think she'll definitely be worth that if she has hair. And then without hair, she'll be 400. Because you can see how much blending and stuff I'm doing on her. Yeah, she's definitely worth. I think will be worth that price if all goes as planned. That is. But I'm concerned right now that it's going to be hard to sell her. I don't know because some people are struggling right now with the whole virus, and a lot of people are out of work. Obviously, I think it's the most people out of work we've seen in a really long time. So I'm worried that also doll sales will suffer during this time. So I don't know. I don't know how people are going as far as selling the dolls. But on the other hand, I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook, and I've also seen that more people are actually, because they're stuck at home and they're bored. I've seen a couple of people who went and have now been buying dolls. So I don't know. It could go really either way. I'm hoping because she'll be she'll be African American, and she'll be at a decent price. I think for the detail I'm putting into her, she'll be at a decent price. So I'm thinking she'll sell pretty quickly. Wondering if I can. Yes, Kyle limbs are I went different limbs, but I love his face. Yeah, if you go, Bountiful Baby actually sells individual limbs, like full limbs, different limbs sets. So if you want to, you can get limbs from them. Or I think McPherson does the same thing where they just sell limbs. So yeah, ask her before you start doing payments. See if she can swap them out. Obviously, it'll be additional cost, but for me, I would prefer I would prefer to pay the extra cost to get different limbs for him at least. Some limbs I can just live with and it's fine. They don't have to be my favorite limbs as long as I can live with them. Um, yeah. Oh, you said Jessica. You said you missed what? Oh no, it's for Love of a Doll. Sorry. Um, for the love of a doll. I'm working on Ruby. I'll show you her head in a second. I already shaded her head for this layer. After this, I have 4 more shading layers. I think. Let me remember that I said that. 4 more, or we'll see. We'll reevaluate once I get more layers and see where I want to stop as far as shading. Because this is just the shading. I still have to do all her mottling layers over top of this as I'm following this tutorial. Um, blend this out. It just makes it so much easier, this blending. So if you guys are painters as well, if you're like artists as well, and you haven't, go get you somehow go somehow. If you're out anyway for groceries or something, get a blending beauty blender while you're out. I know they have them at most stores, so definitely it's worth it to me. Of course, I got mine from Walmart, so it wasn't expensive anyway. But like I said, it's definitely worth it. So if you're out, you have to go out. Only if you have to go out anyway. I think it's worth getting one and trying out how you like it. Makes so much easier. Okay. Yes, I love babies with soft or curly hair. I'm not much into the bald babies. It's an issue for me, unless they're newborn and small ones. Um, I've seen it either way. I've seen people who really prefer painted hair or only bald hair, because or bald head, because mohair and hair in general can be just another thing to take care of. So they just want a bald baby. And a lot of babies, real babies, are bald anyway. Like a lot of babies are. I've seen a lot of babies that are bald until they're like 2 anyway. So a lot of real babies, are bald anyway. Is how I look at it. So I haven't had really an issue with selling a bald baby. I've sold a lot, especially when I was starting. But that's not to say like rooted hair obviously sells quicker. But I've like at the same time I haven't had a huge issue selling any of the bald babies that I had for sale. So I don't know. It depends on the person. There's a doll for everyone out there. I think anyway. But it's a good option for someone who wants a doll but can't afford the rooted hair, because like I said, it is for me at least it's an extra $50. And some people, that extra $50 is make or break for them. So that way they can still get a fully painted, nicely painted reborn and not have to pay the extra $50 right away. Like they can always get the doll rooted later from someone else if they want, or the original artist. So that's why I'm going to give it as an option. Hello, wonderful Alice. Wonderful. Wonderful. I don't know what's going on. Um, yeah, so hair is definitely a thing that Some people can definitely live without. I prefer rooted hair, but I'm starting to wonder if I should trim Emerson's hair a little bit because it is a lot to deal with. Like especially when she's laying down and it gets all. You'll see her in a second. It gets all messy in the back, and I'm wondering if it might be worth it just to trim it a little bit more than what I already trimmed it to in the back at least, and leave the top of the hair, front of the head longer. Okay, so I have applied the paint to this hand. Yeah, I love this kit. Oh my gosh, I love this kit. I part of me is like, ooh, don't you want to keep her, Sean? You know you want to keep her with Ruby, and I'm like, nope, I don't need her. I really don't need this doll in my collection. Again, I have Emerson, who is the same exact size. I don't need her. I don't need to keep her. I need to sell her because, especially now, because I am no longer working at my job because of the virus. So, I don't need the keeper, but she is really cute. Um, okay. I think this arm is sufficiently blended, so I'll go get Emerson and we can look at them and compare. Obviously, Emerson is different. She's painted differently. Let that sit for a second, and then I'll move on to the legs after we compare them because I want to pick up the legs, so I don't want it to be painted, like have a wet paint on it. Hi Donna, how are you? I'm doing well. So as you can see, we got Emerson here. Like I said, the back of her hair is a hot mess because she was laying down. So we're gonna ignore that. But look at her, she's so cute. Oh, look at the face. Oh, look at the front of the hair. Ignore the back of the head. But yes, she looks really cute today. I've already had her. I have very limited clothing items here because I didn't want to take up an entire suitcase with baby girl clothes. So I took up half of a suitcase with her clothes and the doll that I'm getting custom made and it'll be sent here. She wears newborn size, the other girl. So she wears, this is 3 months size stuff. So but I realized after, now that I'm trying to pick out outfits for her, I brought way more newborn stuff than I did her size stuff. So now I'm struggling to come up with different outfits with the stuff that I only have for her. It's very limited. So I made a mistake doing that. I didn't think that through, but so I have a lot more newborn girl stuff that I brought with me. So when my other baby comes, she'll have plenty of outfits, but poor Emerson won't have a lot of different outfits. But anyway, so we're gonna compare the legs because I think they're the exact same. Yeah, I think they're the exact same legs. Let's see. So this is Ruby's leg, obviously. You can see it. And I'm gonna look at it. Yep. So I don't know how to show you this. You can kind of see. So Ruby and Alexis, she's Alexis by Cassie Brace, and this is Ruby by Cassie Brace. So she has the exact same legs, but different arms. So you see there, exact same legs, that little toe. Yeah, I was curious because when I started painting her, I realized I was like, these legs look very familiar to what I've already done. And then we'll see her arms. Put her sock back on because it's part of her little outfit. Let's see. Yeah, sculptors do that usually to save time, especially if it's the same size kit, which they are. So some sculptors do that just to save time. I don't know if Bonnie Brown does that, or Laura Lee Eagles. I think her, Cassie Brace. So I think these are the top like three big artists or sculptors that I think are like the top three is Cassie Brace, Bonnie Brown, and Laura Lee Eagles are the big like three. Those everything they sculpt sells like hotcakes. Those three artists, those three sculptors. So we'll see. So she has this like fist, and then on the same side. Let's see, is this the same arm? This is the same arm. I think. I don't know. One of these. And then Ruby has both open hands. So she might have actually started off. What I'm thinking is she might have started off with Ruby's hands and then sculpted them closed. If that makes sense. Like so I think the arms are the same as well, but just she just changed the hands. So it's really interesting how they are able to do sculpts like that and save time on themselves. Um, but yeah, you can see a little closed hand, and then her other hand looks very similar to this one. I think it's very, very similar to this open hand on this side, so I won't pick up her other arm. I'll leave that arm alone because, as you can see, the paint is drying. And then let's get her head, so you can see her head next to Emerson's head. And then I'll do another comparison when Ruby is completed just next to Emerson, which is, again, the Lexus kit. Okay. Okay. So, as you can see, she's drying, but they're exactly the same size. They just have different expressions, different noses, different features, but they are definitely the same size. I love, love, love this size. It's perfect size for me. Super easy to shop for. Okay. So they're both 22 inches. Let me put her head back down gently because I don't want it to fall over because it's such a big head that it has more weight in the back. It's unstable. Fix it up. I prop it up with cosmetic wedges. And then, because I do not want this to fall over. Oh my god, it's a nightmare when it falls over. I think that's good. Okay. So yeah. So here is Emerson for today. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, I love how she turned out, even though I didn't follow the tutorial. I just did my own painting with her. I wanted her to have kind of a softer color. So, like, her lips, obviously, as you can see, aren't that dark. I wanted them to have, like, a nice light pink color. And her blushing is really light as well. I didn't want to do too much heavy blushing with her. So, I think she turned out really sweet. My aunt, one of my aunts, I have a lot of aunts. One of them really loves her. So, I'll put her back over there. I just wanted to show you guys her, and then little knee-high socks, and then she has these mitts on that I got. A helicopter. Okay, yeah. So she has these little cute little mitts that I got for her, and then I styled her hair curly today. But yeah, so there she is for today. I'll put her over there, and then we'll continue on to Ruby's legs, shading her legs. All right. You can kind of still, well, you can kind of see her. She's back there on the couch. Back in the couch on the boppy. All right, let's get back to what I was doing, which is painting. Before this paint dries, well, it doesn't really dry up actually because of the thinning medium. It doesn't really dry up as easily. Make sure I use this brush usually to dust off if I can't get it off with my hands. My hands are clean, by the way. Always when I'm painting, I just wash my hands before I start painting. Um, Obviously, you don't want to transfer anything onto the wet paint if you can avoid it. So, my gosh, I feel like I have to sneeze. A little dusty. There's like bees out already. I guess it is spring, so the bees are having a good time. My school has a beehive. A beehive? That's what I'm thinking about. They keep bees in the garden, and I used to always be scared of them because I don't know if I'm allergic to bees or not. So I would always like freak out when they would come near me, even though they don't really care about you. Now the wasps, on the other hand, yeah, she has really chubby legs. The wasp, on the other hand, are little evil little creatures. They will chase after you even if you don't even go like close to where their hive is, or whatever they want to call them, their nest, the hornet's nest or the wasp nest. Um, those are little evil little things. They will chase you and hunt you down, even though you're trying to mind your business. They are super territorial, scary little insects, little evil things. Same thing with like how I was talking about the geese. They're when I was taking the walk. Geese are very similar, and they'll chase you down, or if you go too close to them, some of them will get angry and just like chase you down, even though you're not bothering them. We saw a lot of geese yesterday, but they were nice geese, so they didn't really care that we were there. They just kind of walked away. I think these geese around here are used to people going on walks, so they just kind of ignore people or just walk away. But not wild geese. Mm-mm. Like really wild geese who don't know what people are, they will attack you. Yes. I'm really liking. I really do like how she's turning out. So, hopefully, hopefully, this progress will continue to be positive on her. So how I'm shading her is I go around the back of her um foot here, her ankle, around the whole of her bottom of her ankle, and then around the front, and then I go along the side of her foot here where it starts turning into the lighter color at the bottom of the foot. I go around there on both sides, the perimeter of the foot, over top of the toes. Top of the toe, that big toe sticking out there. Really want to blend those parts out. It's important because otherwise it kind of looks crazy. Make sure I get enough paint on there to blend that out. And then it's time to go back and blend this out, the paint that I just applied. So I hope this is helpful for some people to see how this kind of process works. And I've been repeating this, so I'm kind of now I can just go through it. But at first it was very difficult to understand where I was supposed to shade, and now I'm like 5 layers in. I think this is the fifth one. I'll do either 4 or 5 more of these layers, and then move on. So it's the same process each time. Each shading layer is the same process. Although what's weird about her tutorial, the highlighting is not until later. You would think highlighting and shadow would be around the same steps, but no, the highlighting steps aren't until much later. So I won't be doing her highlighting until a lot later and completing her. So today, my hopes today is to at least be done with all of her shading. I think that's possible. Of course, I'm about to get off live and take a um, lunch break, and then get back into it after I let her set for a little bit. I don't let her dry completely, just enough that I can bake it. Um, that way, it bakes better. It blends better is what I meant to say. Not that it bakes better. It blends better if you don't let this thinning medium dry completely. just enough that it's not as shiny. And you, I don't know how to explain it. I wait till I can see that it's dried almost completely, and then I bake it. I find it blends better when I do that. I think someone else does that. I think it might be Kate Charles who doesn't wait for it to completely dry and let it cure, because it'll, when you put it in there, it'll continue to set. Obviously, when you apply the heat, it'll still set into the vinyl, even if you don't wait for it to completely dry. Make sure I blend all that out. Yeah, okay. I think this is blended sufficiently as I continue to work on it. I think that's good. Let me make sure I blend the top of the toes with my cosmetic wedge. Oh, if you just came in, so my idea for my tooth, I want to repeat what I said earlier. What I think I'm going to do for my 2,000 subscriber giveaway is going to be a painted and rooted cuddle baby. It'll probably be a 21-inch size, just so it's a good size that's not newborn, so it'll be accessible for people like me who, when I'm in North Carolina, I live in a smaller town where it's harder to find newborn clothes. So I'm gonna make sure it's like a 21-inch or 22-inch cuddle baby. So I haven't chosen what the head will be. So I don't know what kit the head, like what head I'll get, but it's probably gonna likely be 21 or 22 inches long, and it'll be painted and rooted and assembled. So that's my idea for my giveaway. Um, Assuming not as many people are gonna want to join into this one, because not every a lot of people don't want a cuddle baby, because it does limit what you can dress them in, obviously. Um, but they're so much nicer to like snuggle with. So I like the idea of them. Oh gosh, okay. Sometimes my drying rack, they knock into each other to pieces, so I have to move it. Okay, there we go. Make sure they're not touching each other because the paint rubs onto each other. So now we're going to just shave this leg, and then I'm gonna go off live and go eat. And then after I eat, I'll bake this layer into her, and then I'll continue shading for the rest of the day, basically. Because my professor still hasn't sent out the lesson for today. I only have one classes technically on. Hi, April. I only technically have one classes on Mondays and Fridays, but like I said, the way they're doing it, it doesn't matter. Like we're not on schedule anymore. Like we don't have to do our work when our class is, if that makes any sense. But he was supposed to still put out the lesson plan at the same time, so you could still have your, if you wanted to, you could still watch the video at the normal class time, which is what I would have liked to do because I was up anyway, awake at that time. So the class was at 9:30, and that's what I would have preferred him put the. But he has stuff that he's probably dealing with, obviously, in his actual life. So I'm not gonna be too mad at him for not sending out the video on time. Do you miss going? Yes, I do. I definitely do miss going to school in some kind of aspects of missing that. I'm like missing. I'm missing seeing my friends, obviously. I'm trying to like we Snapchat as much as I can with them. But it's not the same, obviously, as going to hang out with them. So I'm missing my friends from college. Um, I'm missing like my classmates because I really love being in a class atmosphere, having that like discussion. I miss that this in person discussion. I really do miss that portion of class. What I'm not missing is I like being able to do my work ahead of time and get it done. So I'm really happy that I can do that now. When I was in class, you would have to wait for the assignment to be assigned, and you would have to do it when you had to do it. But now, like I said, most of my professors aren't making things due until the very, very end of the week, so Sunday night. So now I can do whenever my work whenever I want before Sunday night. So it's really, really nice, and it gives me plenty more time to do other things. So I'm less stressed out now, believe it or not, because I don't have to. I What would happen would be, which is what I would always hate. What would happen would be that my professors for my Tuesday classes especially would assign things on Tuesday that were due Thursday. So all my Tuesday classes would assign things the same day and have it due the same day. So I would have to do a lot of work and to make sure it was done by that Thursday. So now how they're doing it, like I said, is everything's not due till Sunday, and they're assigning it way ahead of time. Like they assign it the previous weekend. They give us a whole week that we can work on things, so you can work at your own pace, and it's so much less stress actually now as far as classwork goes. I do have a anatomy exam on Wednesday, but it's open note, and I take really good notes, and I've been watching all the videos, and I've been actually studying for it, so it's not like I don't know the stuff. I'm just saying that we do have an exam on Wednesday, but it shouldn't be that bad because it's open note and I've been paying attention, and I've actually still been learning. Unlike, I'm assuming a lot of college students have just kind of given up because everything's online. They can just cheat if they wanted to. But yeah, I've still been actually reading the lessons and taking notes. So I'm sure I will be fine for that exam, being it that it's open note. But yeah, so things academically wise, I'm fine. Like I'm better now. It's much easier. But as far as socially, I'm really missing my, specifically my best friend. Um, really missing my best friend, and we're definitely in a completely different states now. So can't even like risk it to go see them because I can't. I would have to fly back to North Carolina. Um, so that's kind of sad. I do miss my best friend. Despite us talking like basically every day, I still miss. I still miss them. But what has been saving me socially is I do have a relatively large family, and they're here. Like my aunt is here. She lives here. One of my aunts. Again, I have a lot of aunts. One of them lives here, and she has a son who is turning 13 in May. So he's here as well right now. We've been hanging out and going on walks and stuff, bike rides, that kind of stuff. So I'm not like alone. Oh my god, I don't know. Like I'm a loner kind of, but I don't know if I could deal with being completely alone for that amount of time, for as long as I've been here. I've been here now, tomorrow make it 2 weeks. So um I don't know if I was alone for 2 weeks, I would probably lose my mind, because that is quite a, if you think that's a long time to be alone, completely alone. And that's kind of how it would have been if I stayed in my dorm and my roommates left. I would have been completely like isolated. So I am glad, I'm here, because then I can just see my little cousins if I'm bored, because we're all in the immediate family, so we're not really that afraid of, us getting sick from one another, because we're not going anywhere except for each other's houses, really. Um, yeah, so we're being safe. We're only going to immediate family, seeing immediate family, to limit the outside stuff that from, if you were going to like another person's house that's not in your immediate family, it's kind of higher risk, obviously, because you know where your family goes, but you don't really know all the places your friends go and stuff. I don't know, unless you're really close with those people, but it's not like random people we're going to see. Like I was at my aunt's house this weekend, my other aunt's house, this weekend. The one that has the 5-year-old and the 8-year-old. And I helped her clean up so they could do their school lessons now in that in the what was once the playroom is now their little office desk space. So we rearranged all that stuff in there. This weekend is what I did. Saturday. Well, I came back Sunday. I spent the night there Friday night, and then Saturday we did all that cleaning and stuff, and then I came back here at my nana's. So yeah, we've been just hanging out with family because it's all we can really hang out with is family, safely anyway. But good thing I like my family. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if you didn't like your family? And this would be kind of torture if I didn't like my aunt who lives here, or I didn't like my nana. This would be torture, wouldn't it? My poppy's also here, but he's still like kind of like working telecom kind of, and he also takes classes. I can't remember what he said his classes are, but he's taking like an online classes. I think it's more than one, and so he's downstairs a lot in the office working on his classes. So I don't see him as much, even though he is here. Um, but he's here too. He'll be out of work for a while, as far as like working from home and stuff for a while, as most Americans are right now. Most people in the world, I think, actually are working from home if they can. Okay, I think that is good. I think that is this layer. I'm gonna let this sit, and then I'm gonna go eat lunch, you guys. If you haven't already seen my Instagram recently, you know that I got into something. And now I don't regret getting into it at all. I really don't, because of how she was treating that customer. So I'm actually really glad that I stood up for the customer, because she obviously was lying about the situation. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know who the she I'm referring to is. I don't regret getting involved in this situation at all as of now. Like, I really don't regret it, because she blocked the customer, first of all, so the customer had no idea that she was attacking her online anyway. So it's Lisa. Her name's Lisa. She's a really nice lady, and she didn't deserve to be publicly shamed and attacked the way she was on that YouTuber's Facebook. In a public, it was public too. It was my thing. So of course other people are going to see it. Like, everyone's going to see it if it's public. I'm sorry. Like, you don't publicly... She publicly attacked a paying customer for... Lisa didn't even ask... First of all, Lisa didn't ask her for a refund. If you saw... All this is on my Instagram. I have lots of proof of what happened in this situation. But long story short, this YouTuber, which you guys all know who it is, publicly shamed a customer that had ordered a custom with her a really long time ago. And the customer, Lisa, had emailed her asking her, making the statement that, hey, you're making all these dolls for the lawsuit. Why aren't you working on my custom? It's been a while. Why isn't my custom done? I paid you in full. She paid the YouTuber $975 in full. And this was in January of 2019. And the doll... Obviously, it's a Saskia, and the Saskia is still nowhere apparently near done, I guess. And so she was asking her... Well, she made a statement in the email and was like, why isn't my doll done? But you're working on all these dolls for the lawsuit. You worked on dolls for yourself. But my custom that I paid you for, why has it been over a year and my custom doll that I ordered for you is not done? She said I would still like my Saskia. She didn't ever ask her for a refund. She was just like, well, why isn't she done? Well, I know you said it would be a while, but Lisa did not think it would be over a year. This has been 14 months. And in fact, this is where I caught her in a lie. So originally I got involved because someone through my Instagram had sent me the post and was like, can you believe that she's publicly shaming a paying customer? And I was like, she is? So I went and checked it out, because like I said, this was on her public Facebook, right? This was on her public Facebook. So you didn't have to be friends with her or following her. So it's not like I'm following her. It's someone sent me the post and was like, you need to go check this out because they knew that I would say something about it because it's not okay to do that at all. Like, who I don't know what business professional. She's not a professional, obviously. There's no sense of professionalism when you are attacking paying customers for asking when their doll is going to be done that they paid for over a year ago. Anyone else, if this was any other artist, they would have been probably called a scammer because she's essentially holding this lady's money and wasn't working on the doll at all, like at all, basically. So I got involved because someone sent me the post and was like, "Go check it out and go look at the comments," because people were attacking Lisa, and I could not. That like blew my mind that this YouTuber was shaming shaming Lisa, and people were defending the YouTuber, saying that this lady should be more patient than she had already been super patient and understanding. And you can see all the emails because the YouTuber thought that she was defending herself by posting these emails that were between her and the customer, and Lisa was nothing but respectful and understanding of the lawsuit, all the situations that were occurring. Lisa was nothing but respectful towards the YouTuber. I named the YouTuber obviously when I made the post because there was no point of not saying her name at that point since it was a public post. So I got involved because I started seeing the comments, and these people were being so freaking rude to the customer and defending the YouTuber. They were calling this is when I really got involved. Like I was just reading the comments at first and I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe that this was happening. So at first I was just sitting back and I was just reading the comments and looking at it until I saw this lady who sent this long comment and was calling Lisa a creature and calling Lisa narcissistic for wanting her doll that she had paid for in full. She was calling Lisa a creature and all these like horrible things. And so I messaged that lady uh, through a DM and I was like, how dare you call a paying customer a creature for wanting the goods that they paid for? And instead of, you know, talking to me about it, this lady who I messaged decided to post the screenshot of the message that I had sent her on the thread. You can see all of this is on my Instagram where I name everyone who's involved in it. I'm not gonna do it in video. I'm not gonna name them on here. But if you want to know the full story, like I'm giving a brief overview of what happened. I'm giving a brief overview just to save you guys time, but you can look at the full story on my Instagram. But a lot of people have seen it, so because it's just I still cannot believe she attacked a paying customer like that publicly. She put out her first and last name and her email on that post so people could go attack her if they wanted to. Like, I don't understand who does that to someone. And all because she asked about when her doll was going to be done. So this is the lie that I caught the YouTuber in. The YouTuber in the public shaming post had said that Lisa hadn't even been waiting a year. She said she had taken Lisa's custom in May of 2019. She said, "Oh, Lisa hasn't even been waiting a year. Lisa is being super impatient. My customs had take 2 years. Blah 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 blah." First of all, whose customs who are not prototype artists or something takes 2 years? Who takes 2 years for a custom anyway? That's beside the point. So she was like, Lisa knew that my customs take a long time, blah 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 blah, and that is not true at all. Because obviously, I talked to Lisa after this happened. I contacted Lisa because she did not know that this was happening. She didn't know she was being shamed publicly. So this is where I caught the YouTuber in a lie. The YouTuber said May of 2019 should make it sound better. And then when she was trying to defend herself in the comments, because of course I commented on the post, and I was like to the lady who I DM'd because she posted the screenshot of the DM that I sent her. she Stephanie. I mean, who? I said her name. There we go. Sorry. Anyway, the YouTuber. Scratch that from the record. I'm sure it doesn't matter now. But anyway, so the YouTuber was trying to defend herself in the comments, and when she was trying to defend herself in the comments, it backfired on her because she posted the full screenshot of the invoice, and I zoomed into the invoice, and the invoice from Lisa, the payment said January 3rd, 2019. That's a far time from May when this YouTuber said that she took in her custom. I called her straight up in a lie that she herself proved that she was lying in the post. And it just kills me that people were still defending her, even though I was like, clearly she's lying about the situation because she said May, but the invoice clearly showed January 3rd, 2019, $975 paid in full from Lisa to the YouTuber. So it just kills me when this YouTuber is talking about cults and stuff when obviously her herself has a cult like following. Like people are clearly still like up her butt and trying to defend her even though she was clearly lying about the situation. So that pissed me completely off, like that she's getting away with attacking Lisa even though Lisa did nothing wrong in this situation. Lisa was patient, like 14 months. She was very patient. And then in fact, you can see in the other emails that I also posted between Lisa and the YouTuber that the YouTuber said that the doll would be done in February, which was now almost 2 months ago. So Lisa had every right to ask her, well, where's my doll? You said she would be done. Now you said she would be done in February. So all of this again, all I have literally all the proof in the world of this happening because the YouTuber thought she was defending herself by posting these messages, and she thought she was defending herself by posting the invoice, not thinking that I would outsmart her and look closer, and it said January 3rd. So clearly she's lying, and it just blows my mind that people are still defending her in this situation for publicly shaming this poor lady who just wanted her doll. Like honestly, like, and then the lady who I was talking about who called her a creature was like, sorry, she was that was my nana opening the door, but yeah, long story short, she was publicly shaming a customer who paid in full, who waited 14 months for a custom, watched this YouTuber make other dolls for herself. And oh, the YouTuber, by the way, tried to say that she hasn't made dolls for herself in this time period, when we all know that's a lie because she made that Annie doll, which was the Wendy kit for herself. She made a silicone doll for herself, and she repainted a Kinby doll, Nathan, the biracial doll. You remember that? She painted that for herself, all within this time period. And those are just 3 dolls. I'm sure she has painted other dolls for herself in that time period, but those are ones that she had on her channel and showed her painting. So she has indeed painted dolls for herself during this time period instead of working on Lisa's custom. So I rest my case. She's a liar. She mistreated a customer. That's why I got involved, not for the drama, because that is something I don't care how popular you are. If you are mistreating a paying customer for the job you're supposed to do, that bothers me. That hits me on a whole nother level. I hate that. I love my customers so much. I love people who watch me so much, and I would never, ever treat a paying customer how she treated Lisa. So if you guys think I'm being dramatic and think I'm making all this up, again, literally all the information, all the screenshots, the invoice, everything is on my channel. I mean, not on my channel, on my Instagram. Everything you need to understand that I'm telling the complete honest truth and reaccounting this story is all on my Instagram. All of the emails that I have access to, and I can even send you the messages between Lisa and I, because Lisa originally was told that this custom Saskia would only take the YouTuber 4 months, by the way. She ordered her in January, and she told her that the Saskia would be done in April. So she was only supposed to be waiting 4 months. So there's no way that Lisa thought that even though the YouTuber said that her customs take a long time, Lisa did not think it was going to be this long. So while she said she was going to wait for the customs, she didn't think that she would be waiting over a year. And furthermore, I caught the YouTuber in another lie, by the way, in this whole situation. The YouTuber had said that she had already told Lisa that her customs take 2 years. How come then on the email, again, all of this is on my account, how come then on the email sent from the YouTuber to Lisa on March 28th, 2020, Saturday, this is recent, very recent, how come in that email the YouTuber said, "Oh, by the way, my customs take 2 years"? So if Lisa had already known this, I hope you guys are following my train of thought. If Lisa had already known this previous to that, why did the YouTuber feel like she had to tell her then that by the way, my customs take 2 years if Lisa already knew that way ahead of time? So I I rest my case. She's a liar. She has always been a liar. This isn't even about the lawsuit. I don't care about the lawsuit at this point. It's not about the lawsuit. It's about how you misuse your customers and misuse your fans, like how she was trying to make fans, like how she was trying to. This literally happened, by the way. Also, she was trying to make fans pay her $2, or I think it was $1 or $2, to join her Patreon just to find out where she sells her used items that she's selling for the lawsuit, like her shoes and stuff, which is public information. She sells on Poshmark, by the way. It's not hard to find her account, but she was trying to charge her fans for that information. So this is beyond the lawsuit. It's mistreating fans. It's misusing your platform. It's mistreating fans. It's mistreating paying customers that I cannot deal with. It's so mean, it's so cruel, and I hope people are starting to catch on now by me publicly saying this and posting all those screenshots on my Instagram. It's not for the drama, it's because you can't treat people like that. Especially if you run a business. You cannot treat people like that. So, yeah, I hope you guys follow this train of thought. And if you didn't, you can obviously go rewatch this portion of the live. And if you have more questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. And I can send you all the. If you're not on Instagram, I can send you all the information. I can send you all the screenshots. Sorry, something just rolled outside. I can send you all the screenshots, all the emails that I have, and you can even talk to Lisa yourself, and she can explain more for you. So that being said, I'm gonna go eat lunch and see what my nana wanted to ask me, and so rewatch this if it doesn't make sense. Yes, I accidentally said her name on here, which I said I wasn't gonna say her name on here again. I just got so caught up, I didn't mean to say her name, but I did name her on my Instagram. But I had said in another video I wasn't going to say her name on my YouTube channel anymore, give her that so people would go to her channel. That's not what I want, but I did name her and her wife on who, by the way, her wife casually tried to. It's a lot. This story is a lot. Her wife tried to again casually try to threaten me with a lawsuit again, which she can't do because all of this is public information that came directly from them. So it's not like I'm making up things that didn't happen, so they couldn't do anything about it anyway. But so now that's why I'm not afraid of naming them on my Instagram, because all of this is directly from them. And I didn't make up any screenshots or anything. This is literally all from them, and I have the proof for that. So, um, just thought I would mention that in case people watch this and don't know what's happening with Lisa and that YouTuber. I can't believe people are still supporting an obvious liar through all this, but I know people will still do it because she has a cult-like following on her YouTube, and it's a shame. So people sometimes really, really, really make me sad that because of how popular someone is, they're ignoring all the problematic things that she does. And I'm hoping what I'm doing makes a little bit of change in that. Um, I don't want to destroy her. It's just you can't not be held accountable for what you're doing to people. Um, yeah, so she posted Lisa all of Lisa's information so that her fans would probably go and attack her. That's speculation on my point, but why else would you post her full name and her email if you didn't want people, you know how your fans are, to go attack them? So yeah, it's a sad situation. DM me if you want to know more about it and see all of the information. And I'm gonna let you guys go now with that. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday with a filmed video. I'll do a premiere though, so you can still talk to me. It'll be a fun one. I have a fun idea, so stay tuned for that on Wednesday. And then Friday, again, Friday will be the Zoom meeting. So if you want to actually like talk and I can see you and we can actually have a conversation other than, just live. So it's really fun. I love Zoom meetings. It went really well, even though it was five people joined in last time, but that's because not a lot of people knew about it ahead of time. So yes, Friday afternoon or evening will be the Zoom meeting. I haven't decided exactly on the time yet. So I will see you guys Wednesday, and I'll see you guys Friday. Bye, you guys.